Hey, Geeky Pastimes here, and in today's video I'm going to take a look at the Shadow Company teaser trailer for Season 5 of Call of Duty Warzone. So just before we get started, let's have a watch all the way through the trailer, and then we'll break down into the things that I think might tell us something about what's happening in Season 5 or what's going to happen with the Easter egg.
Soldiers, each our own force. Join the Armistice Alliance. Stand up for your
brothers. He was right until that treaty collapsed and chaos set in. Now we got friends on the ground who need professionals to get the job done right. Shadow Company has actionable intel and the best warfighters money can buy. So I ask you, who do you want to be? And who do you want on your team? Join us.
So this first section is kind of showing you what I'm guessing is a recruitment advert for Armistice. So we're seeing some of the operators we already know. We're seeing some of the places that we've already seen in multiplayer and in Warzone, but it seems to be getting hacked by Shadow Company. Then we can hear Shepard talking, and we start getting shots of some things from Spec Ops, like the nuke opening. We see some shots of Rose, and we see a shot of Crash, and then it gets to the bunkers. So this is Bunker 11, and when I first saw it, I thought that that door which goes into the nuke room on the right up there might be open, but it turns out it's not. Once we got the higher res YouTube version, we could see pretty clearly that nothing's changed. But obviously they are drawing attention to Bunker 11, which is something they haven't done that much of. I think there's still plenty of players who have never been into Bunker 11 or don't know how to get in there. If you are one of those people and you don't know much about Bunker 11, check out the other videos on here. I've got guides on how to do every little step of that, and also what's in Bunker 11 and why you should want to go there. So one of the other things that was interesting was this keypad looking thing in the bottom right corner. This isn't the keypad that we're used to. Like, this isn't the keypad that's in Bunker 11 at the moment that you can interact with, but it does look a little bit like a keypad. So I'm not sure if that's like maybe they've changed their mind and they're going to put a new keypad in there and this is a hint of what the new keypad looks like, or whether this is just some graphic they put in the corner. But I thought it was kind of interesting and worth looking at just in case. There's also something in the top left that looks like a code that says LA5501, so maybe that's something to keep an eye on as well for the Easter egg. Then after that we're just seeing some shots to do with the story and the lore, and we see the Verdansk Center, so this is the stadium that we know something's going on. Now one of the interesting things about this is that it doesn't look like there's actually any damage to the outside of the stadium, and we can't even see the grappling hook on the roof that we thought we'd be able to see. So either this was all filmed in kind of the Season 4 version of the map, or maybe it's going to be less of a significant change than maybe we thought. We know in the cinematic for the Season 5 intro that there's a bomb at Stadium, and it's something to do with Lurch and a bomb in a bag. We know all this from data mining. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I think most people kind of assumed that those teasers that we saw showed some sort of bomb going off at the entrance to Stadium. And I've also got some videos going through all of those teasers if you want to see what those are about. But this is a little bit interesting, because if these are shots after that, and it's meant to be like a Season 5 version of the map, it looks like the map's not really changing at all. I'm hoping these are shots from maybe just before the Season 5 cinematic, maybe they're parts of it, and it's actually going to change pretty dramatically, and it's just drawing our attention. The next kind of interesting thing is that everyone's been speculating that there's going to be something to do with this moving train, and we don't see any of that in this trailer. We have this image of the train station, but nothing to do with specifically, you know, trains. We had a train horn in the first teaser we saw. We know there's stuff in the files for a train, and we know it's kind of set up that it'll be able to hit people and things like that. But it's weird that this trailer didn't like bring more attention to the trains, if that's going to be the big thing at the beginning of Season 5. That kind of makes me think maybe the trains aren't going to be there at the very start of Season 5, perhaps. Maybe that's something that's going to come later in like a mid-season update. Then the rest of this trailer takes us through some shots of some of the new skins we're expecting to get, and one of the new operators, who I think is going to be the main one for the Battle Pass, and I'd previously tweeted about this, that it's going to be Lurch, who is the person who was meant to send all of the letters to all of those streamers, you know, who got the chess pieces with the bits of the teasers in. It's this guy who's in the middle. So he's going to be the main new operator, and he seems to be sort of leading Shadow Company as they go into Verdansk. But other than that, the final thing we get confirmed is that it's definitely coming August 5th, which is something we sort of guessed because that's the date all of the teasers were meant to take place in, but that was it. So this trailer's pretty cool. Like, I like the trailer. I like the fact that it's introducing this kind of new faction. For those of you who don't know, Shadow Company's the thing that's run by Shepard, the person who ends up betraying everyone in the old Modern Warfare timeline. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Hopefully it's going to be like a big new thing for the story, and it's going to be something that they keep on going throughout this season and next season, rather than something that like this is it and they just abandon it. But yeah, beyond that, we can't really tell much else from this trailer. It seems to all be filmed on the current map, which isn't that unusual. Like, that's why we know some of the things happen in Season 5 cinematic, is because all of those things are in the game already. They're in the data files. So I think they probably film these kind of things in the current version of the map rather than a new one. I'm expecting on Monday that we'll get a new trailer which will show off the new features of Season 5. So I wouldn't start assuming just yet that there's no big changes to the map. Hopefully there's going to be something. Hopefully there's going to be something cool and different. You know, I'm hoping that we're going to see those grappling hooks that let us get onto the top of buildings a bit easier, like we saw in that image before. I'm hoping that we're going to see a train moving around the map. I'm hoping that we're going to get in stadium. None of that's confirmed, but we'll see how it goes. So, thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more updates and more sort of information about this, go follow me over on Twitter and on Twitch. I'm Geeky Pastimes over on both of them. If you want to ask me anything, Twitch is probably the best place to do it. But if you want to see all of the things as I find them, that's all on Twitter. Okay? So, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.